Yo, what's happening, everybody? So, I told you guys I was going to do the second book of the Red Rising series, Golden Sun, full spoiler. Right? Okay. So, we catch up with Darrow when he is in now the flight academy trying to become a praetor. A praetor being a captain that has a shitload of ships. He will basically be the leader of the Augustus Navy if he wins this battle that he's in. Makeshift battle. So his opposition is Cassius Bologna's oldest brother, and they're having a good battle. Now, at this point in time, we, the reader, are believe that Darrow is winning this battle, that he is not going to lose it, that there's no way he can lose it. All he has to do is take down this one last ship. So he gets into this battle. He thinks he's about to win. By about that point in time, a red dot shows up on his radar, and it's a ship that he thought he'd already destroyed. So his ship's getting blown to shit. He gets his crew to evacuate, and when he gets ready to evacuate, his evacuation plan is basically to rush Bologna's ship. Kronos' ship. And he about gets away with it until the governing body shuts down his ship. They're like, this ain't happening. Well, what happens is basically his leader, his boss, Nero Augustus decides, yeah, no, we're not going to keep you. We are going to basically sell you to another family that wants you. This pisses Darrow off. And then to the point where he actually ends up making a deal with the Jackal, which is Nero's son, which was the guy he beat in the last book, cut off his hand, which is a crazy, mind-blowing set of events. In the process of making this deal, he runs into somebody he remembers. So when he was getting carved, there was a girl named Eve that was taking care of him. She was a pink. Mickey the Carver had carved her up to where she had angel wings on her. He recognizes her. So in the process, she ends up recognizing Darrow. The Jackal's like, I'll buy her for you since we're signing this deal. And Darrow takes her upstairs and goes, what the fuck are you doing here? Eve tells him, and basically her plan is, we're going to blow the fucking Jackal to smithereens. And Darrow freaks out, goes, no, you can't do that. I have a whole plan in works. You fuckers haven't been in contact with me. This is my plan. You're not fucking it up. And he rushes down and he saves the Jackal. After he saves the Jackal, he ends up coming in contact with the person that rescued him, which was Harmony, that took him to Dancer, which took him to Mickey to get carved. Harmony basically explains that Ares wants to blow up I can't even pronounce it right now, but it's a big meeting of families. She wants Darrow to blow them all up, just blow them to fucking smithereens. Like, we're going to make the biggest strike ever. And Darrow is pretty much on board with this, especially after he sees a holo video of what Io says to her sister Dio right before getting hung, and that was she was pregnant. This really sends Darrow over the edge. So Darrow's like, you know what, fuck it, let's do this. He goes into this meeting with a Pegasus chain. In the Pegasus is the bomb, and he is wired with a button to blow it up. He sets the Pegasus, but something changes. Mustang shows up. Now, Mustang actually left him when he went to the academy because she didn't want him to be another one of her father's soldiers. But that's what Darrow is trying to do. He is trying to become a soldier to basically take down the Golds from the inside out. So he couldn't reject the offer of going to become a praetor and going to the academy. So, instead of blowing this place up, he challenges Cassius to a duel. Cassius, still thinking that Darrow sucks at dueling with a razor, accepts the challenge. Darrow plays cat and mouse with him. He actually baits Cassius in and then literally beats the fuck out of Cassius and cuts his arm off. And we find a revelation that he has actually been trained by one of the Knights of Luna, which is Lorne Arcos, which is one of the baddest golds to ever exist. So this happens. Then Darrow finds out that there's another plan in place, which was actually in place by Octavia Alun to kill Nero and all of the Augustus family. And Darrow ends up rescuing Nero, Mustang, the Jackal. He finds out that Mustang had brought Severo and the Howlers back to him, which they were on Pluto, and brought them back to him. And they do this whole rescue thing. Unfortunately, in the process, a girl named Quinn gets hurt. She's going to be important later. Anyway. So Darrow stays close to Nero, but is running plans with the Jackal. And they go to war with the Bolognas and with Octavia Alun. But they go to war with the Bolognas first over Mars, because in the process of all of this, Octavia ends up granting the Bolognas the arch-governorcy of Mars and kicks Augustus out. So Darrow goes on a rampage. He does an Iron Rain on Mars and ends up winning. Okay? All while working with the Jackal to undermine Augustus and put Jackal in a certain position. Unfortunately, one of his right-hand man, which is Tactus, goes rogue. So when Darrow's escaping Mars, he ends up taking Lysander Alun, which is Octavia's grandson, off of Luna. And Tactus couldn't handle it, so he ends up stealing Lysander and shooting into space and being rescued by the Bologna forces, which at that point in time Darrow can't do shit. So they beat the Bolognas. They take back Mars. Here's the kicker, though. The whole time Darrow thought him and the Jackal had a fucking understanding. The Jackal was making moves of his own. So in the celebration, the Augustus celebration of making Nero, basically trying to make Nero High King of the universe, and Darrow being his right-hand man and the son he always wanted, he's going to adopt Darrow. Darrow's going to marry Mustang, and Darrow's plan is basically working out perfectly while he's still working with the Jackal. Like I said, the Jackal had a plan. And it ends up being one of Darrow's closest friends, which he'd actually knocked out during this event when he's supposed to be sold, so Roke didn't die. He cares way too much for Roke. He doesn't want Roke to die. Unfortunately, when Darrow keeps somebody as a friend or love interest, he keeps him at arm's length. And this ends up actually biting him in the ass in the process. Also during this time, Darrow takes over a ship named the Morning Star. Or he gets renamed the Morning Star. I can't remember the name of the actual ship. But he ends up rescuing one of my favorite characters, Ragnar something Velas of the northern poles. He is an Obsidian. Obsidian religion is based on Old Norse. And Darrow's like, if you're gonna come work for me, you're gonna do it by choice. You are not my slave. I don't keep slaves. I don't want slaves. You will be free. Also in the process, Darrow actually kind of ends up showing his true colors, because when he gets Ragnar, how he gets Ragnar is he actually has the crew of the Morning Star rebel against their golden masters. This kind of doesn't sit well with Augustus, but Augustus understands why he did it, because it helped him take over the ship. So Severo actually ends up going to look for his father. Darrow learns that Severo's father, Fitchner, is Ares. That changes everything for Darrow, because he also learns that Harmony went rogue and that bombing wasn't planned. But shit goes sideways. So like I said, Severo goes off to find his father. Ragnar is not with Darrow during this party. Mustang is off land because Darrow ends up breaking her heart again. And everything Darrow worked for comes crashing down like a fucking mountain slide. Horribly fucking bad. Augustus gets killed. Victra, Julia gets the shit beat out of her by her sister and gets up getting shot in the spine. Darrow gets captured. Everybody that was on his side except Roke and the Jackal end up either dying or taking capture. And that's how we leave Morning Star. It was a brutal fucking ending. Fucking brutal. And it made me want to know what happened in the third book, which is dubbed Morning Star. Now, I haven't done my spoiler free yet on Morning Star. I will get to that soon. And right after that, I will drop my full spoiler review of Morning Star. And then we will move on to the fourth book, which is Iron Gold, which I am physically reading right now. I have listened to it on Audible, but I am physically reading it right now. Then we will move to Dark Age, and then we will move to Lightbringer, and eventually when it comes out, we will do the last book, which is The Red God. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this spoiler review. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.